We're all about barbecue today on Food's Greatest Hits. We just devoured racks and racks of ribs, and we're going to continue our carnivore's delight with this serious piece of meat. One that starts out tough and unforgiving, but with enough care and gentle attention, turns into something tender and delicious. It's brisket. Oh man, brisket.
Brisket is so sexy because it's very meaty. There's kind of like a fat line that goes through the bottom part of the plate of the brisket that is just so juicy and unctuous.
Brisket might be the greatest part of the world of barbecue. Brisket, when done the right way, you have a brisket sandwich, man, come on.
So what is brisket exactly? Well, it's found on the front of the cow, a large cut taken from the chest. Brisket is what butchers call working muscle, tougher than a bulletproof vest and virtually inedible, unless you smoke it for hours until it's tender. But once you do, the results are out of this world. But who would devote that much time and energy to unlocking the splendors of the brisket? Well, basically, German and Czech immigrants who settled in Texas in the 1800s. They were known for their butchering skills, but back then, most butchers' markets didn't have refrigerators, and big cuts like brisket were likely to spoil before they ever got sold. So, the only way to save the meat was to salt it and smoke it in a pit. Over time, these butchers dropped their butchering, added more pits, and started serving their barbecued brisket to the masses. And ever since, brisket has been a classic. So we can all agree that brisket is delicious, but what about when you and your friends can't agree on what to have for dinner, as in barbecue or Mexican?
Oh, here we go.
Don't worry, we've got you covered with our first brisket remix.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
It's the brisket taco.
That's like a tostada kind of like
It's thicker, right? It's thicker.
Radishes,
Jalapenos.
salsa.
I think we're dealing with pork here.
Yeah.
I've said pork often, but I think that's pork.
You, sir, are absolutely wrong. That isn't pork. It's barbecued beef brisket, marinated in beer, and cooked slow and low for hours and hours. This dish tests if the fusion of barbecue and Mexican gives brisket a fresh new taste.
Love the shell. It's so like airy and crispy and like
Got that crisp.
yeah, but it's like it's a little chewy too.
Yeah, I'm going back in for another bite.
Marinated in beer.
Okay, good catch.
Mm-hmm. That's delicious.
So our brisket taco is a hit. But that shouldn't be surprising, because brisket sandwiches are already a classic. Yep, you can get brisket a million ways, but what if you're ready for dessert and haven't had your brisket yet? Well, you need look no further than our next dish.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Not at all what I was expecting.
Oh yeah, we did. It's the brisket sundae.
What is the topping? It looks like it could be brisket or it could be is it like a pickle?
Sometimes the weirdest looking things are the greatest tasting things.
This is classic vanilla ice cream with brisket, bacon fat, maple syrup, and barbecue sauce. Yes, this creamy take on a barbecue classic is for all of you who have a sweet tooth but still want your brisket fix.
I'm hoping that it blows me away because right now I'm a little nervous.
Oh wow.
It's weird, but it's good.
It's like eating cold meat, like a sandwich left over the next day.
Man, this is amazing.
Your whole mind is like, okay, what is this? I don't know.
Keep eating.
Just lean into it.
It's got dairy in it. It's got meat in it. I'm stuffed.
Actually, if I went out and saw this on a menu, I'd order.
Would you?
Legit, swear to God. Swear to God.
So the brisket ice cream was a hit with our tasters, but maybe this dish is just too much for you. Well, don't give up on the idea of a brisket dessert just yet. After all, savory meat pies are a thing, right?
Ah, here we go.
It's the pecan brisket pie.
Not finger foods, but that's okay.
Hey,
I would
couldn't
eat
be,
this with
though.
my
I
fingers.
would
It looks
totally.
delicious.
This is a pie with meat in it.
This is actually a hybrid pecan brisket pie made with candied pecans, maple syrup, and of course, slow-cooked brisket that has been pulled and mixed into the pie filling. It's not exactly sweet, not exactly savory. Let's call it swavory. This is the dish for all of you who love brisket and pecan pie so much you want them both in one delicious pie.
Here we go.
so sweet, but I really like it.
If somebody would have said this pie to me, they'd be like, here's the thing, it's gonna be a pecan pie. There's gonna be brisket in it. I'd be like, get out of my house.
Totally halfway between sweet and savory.
Oh man, so good.
The brisket is mostly just a vehicle for the sweetness. You don't really taste like the flavors of the meat. It's more of a texture thing.
I disagree. I definitely get a very meaty flavor from this. I'm really into this.
We've just seen that barbecue brisket is more versatile than you might think. It's just as at home inside a taco as it is inside a pecan pie or a scoop of ice cream. But if you're a barbecue purist and you just want your meat, well, don't fret. Every May 28th is National Brisket Day, a chance for brisket lovers to come together and celebrate what is truly one of food's greatest hits. Coming up next, it's time to take sides. Literally, we're eating barbecue sides.